Her wrist is a railway station of veins where razor blades pass in and out of her body.
Like metal go-karts on an electrical track.
An intersection of steel and rust where red passengers exit like they've got somewhere to be. Brittled bone.
Eyes stained like stucco.
She is bleeding.
Singing has never come easily to me. But the first time I guided razor blade to skin, I was astonished at the contrast.
They will never understand you the way I do. You are an artist. She struts X-Acto knives across her inner thighs like a runway model. Look at her go.
Striving to be a composer.
Strumming the rivets of her veins like a violinist. Playing nautical notes of self-harm.
Knives bottleneck slide.
On the biological strings of your guitar. Each note always razor sharp.
And in perfect harmony with my heartbeat.
The pain is a high note. It is beautiful. It is perfect.
And it is
But
immaculate.
this orchestra of steel and rust still plays on through your veins.
My heart kept thrumming in my ears in spite of the little slit left on my wrist.
She dips the edges in and out of her skin like piano
It's
keys.
the music inside of me.
Every split artery is another silent symphony that you play in your bathroom. You've always been the closeted musician.
Sometimes I just have to open up and sing.
Scream.
And bleed.
The hidden artist.
Using my arm as canvas.
She paints starry nights in every shade of red you can imagine.
Etching truth across the side of my stomach with serrated blades and kitchen utensils.
You have always been a fiend for those 90-degree angles.
I have always had a thing for sharp edges. And then, I had to explain my scabs to my mother. The tears ran slow down her cheeks.
She couldn't see the beauty in destruction.
Self-mutilation, I said,
is a form of self-destruction. You have always been accident-prone.
Always slipping and falling from grace.
But this is more than spilled milk.
More than a thin red line.
This is a young girl who was crushed under the weight of womanhood, dainty as a flower.
My mother shook her head and told me that I have a disease.
That you need help.
That I was like lilies rotting in a vase.
That you are an empty flatbed of brittle bones.
That I was cold now.
Hollow like a syringe.
And empty.
But life has an interesting way of making a joke out of you.
The same way that a razor blade has a funny way of making ribbons out of your veins. It's been years since the last time I bled by my own hand, but I swear,
the beat still bangs away inside of you. You are a slave to the knife, a glutton for the ballpoint, a thirsty whore for every sharp corner and pointed edge, every staircase and open ledge that calls out to
and
you.
I feel like a recovering addict. Every time I misstep, misspeak, stick my foot in my mouth, or choke on stage, I have to fight not to hurt myself.
Not to strum the strings in your wrist.
Too soon after it stopped being music, it became involuntary. My arms are dead lilies in a vase.
Poisonous grapevines that wrap around your wrist.
I am scarred from the days I thought I could be a musician.
But addiction has a way of making encores out of last performances, the same way that sound has a funny way of echoing down the hallway.
So long as my heart keeps beating,
the band will always play on.
I don't want to do this anymore.
But your audience still demands an encore. Her wrist will always be a railway station of veins, where razor blades pass in and out of her body.
Like metal go-karts on an electrical track.
An intersection of steel and rust where red passengers exit like they've got somewhere to be.